Hello everyone and welcome to another Tales of Crestoria video with me, Azahel. First and foremost guys, thank you so much for coming to this video and supporting the channel. And second, so sorry that I have had scattered uploads here and there. I'm having difficulty really finding time to make videos with a 2-month-old at home. But thank you guys anyway for coming and supporting the channel and watching the videos that I do upload. It means a lot. I really do appreciate it. I really am enjoying making these videos. I don't know when I'm going to be able to get those character guide videos out. It's probably going to be a while. I'm having difficulty finding time working on them, but just stay tuned. I'm going to try to keep working on them. We're going to try to get them uploaded. Anyway, here on this video today, we're going to be looking at the new EX character coming out soon. So let's go ahead and dive into it. Let's take a look at the new EX character. So let's go into the notices here. We have Hasta, the Battlefield Carnage, coming out. So let's take a look at what we got here. I've already seen his art. It's pretty intense. I don't know much about Hasta because he's from Tales of Innocence, have not played it. But let's take a look at it here. So he is going to be released October 27th and run to November 3rd. So that's upcoming in 2 days here. Alright, let's take a look at what we got. He's Wind and Spear. So thank goodness he's not Sword or Arts, which the R Memoria Stone for Hasta is Spear, so that's what we would expect it to be, Spear. Lots of Wind Spear units, especially in the SR category, so build yourself a Wind Spear team just for funsies. Anyway, his Memoria Stone is 5,000 HP, 3,800 attack, and 700 defense. Obviously, he's going to be a DPS character. That's really easy to see just from the Memoria Stone. And his Memoria skill is Torment 6 Spear, crit damage plus 150% to Spear type allies. That's going to be pretty good. That you can actually use this to turn Spear type allies into DPS characters that aren't DPS characters, like Aegis, like normal water Aegis. He could actually be turned into a DPS character with this. Even though he's really kind of just like a sustained damage, just, hey, I'm just going to hit you a lot with a lot of arts really fast and do a little bit of damage. Like with this Memoria Stone, if he lands a crit, he could actually do lots of damage with his skills. So that's a really good Memoria Stone. Okay, really turn Spear type allies into hitting pretty dang hard. So, alright, let's take a look at his character here. 24,000 HP, 5,520 attack, 4,200 defense. So low on HP, but decent defense. But you're going to have to make sure that he gets lots of heals because he's very low on HP there. His skill is Violent Amusements, plus 15% attack to wind allies, plus 120% attack to spear type allies at 60 hits. So he's definitely going to be a very good DPS for your wind team. Going to be going in and just going to be very good with Micella, the limited Micella, Sin Micella. She's going to proc that DPS for him and also be able to boost up the DPS of other wind units with that flat plus 15% attack. Let's see his arts here. Mystic Art is Rakshasa's Ecstasy, 510% attack, 7 hits, 1 enemy on a 310 over limit. So he has a high over limit here, but a very high damage scaling. 510% is very high. That's very close to Kanata actually. The Sin Kanata, his scaling is at 530%, so it's very close to that one. And he's got really high attack as well, so that's going to be doing lots and lots of damage. And it's on a 310 over limit, so again, very high over limit, but you'll be able to get that off pretty quickly, especially if you're going into a water type quest. So very strong already just with that Mystic Art. Art 1 is Fatal Lance, 160% attack, 8 hits to 1 enemy on a 2-turn cooldown. And it decreases defense of 1 enemy by 30% for 1 turn. That's a really big defense decrease. You're obviously going to want to... It's not stackable because it only does it for 1 turn. But you're going to want to be able to use that right before you use Rakshasa's Ecstasy for that 30% defense down. Also, it provides 8 hits, which can actually boost you up to the next damage up threshold on your hit counter if you're kind of in between damage thresholds. So it's pretty good damage there, 160%. But Art 2 is where it's really looking good. Storm Thrust Seeker, 310% attack, 3 hits to 1 enemy on a 6-turn cooldown. And it's a 100% chance to cast Invincible on self for 1 turn. So he can make himself immune every 6 turns for 1 turn. I don't know how useful that's going to be in the current meta because it's a lot of burst DPS or sustain healing meta with hit gen. So I don't know if you will really necessarily need the invincibility. Now for like newer players, this will be very useful for water quests that you're just having struggle with in keeping your DPS alive. When you know that a big hit is coming that's going to just demolish your DPS, you can use Storm Thrust Seeker, get invincibility on Hasta, and he will be able to survive that big hit coming onto the DPS. But I'm not entirely sure for like veteran players if that's going to be really necessary because they're going to have their teams already set to where they can survive, right? So hopefully they may be preparing some units to help us with maybe the next meta coming up that's going to be coming up with the maybe new chaos difficulties. I don't know, we'll see, because the invincibility is really cool. I like the fact that they're kind of doing different kits. Like each of the kits aren't really the same. We're getting very similar awakening skills with the hit generation counter kind of steadily rising from like 20 to 40 to 60 for the damage thresholds. So all of the awakening skills are becoming very similar for all the units, which I really want them to kind of switch it up like they were a couple months ago, because the last few have all been kind of the same. But they are switching up the kits, which I'm very happy about. I'm happy to see that they're switching up some of the kits and putting invincibility on a very big DPS character like this. It's very good. Some might say it's broken, but it's not, because it's got a 6-turn cooldown. But also, it's 310% damage scaling, which is very big for a normal art. But again, it's a 6-turn cooldown. You're going to be able to use his Mystic Art more often than you can use Art 2, which is kind of odd, but you know, it is a very powerful ability. It's almost, I would say, stronger and more useful than his Mystic Art, but his Mystic Art has higher damage scaling. So, but I like the kit. It's very interesting. But whether you should pull or not, I would say if you don't have a good win DPS, definitely pull for Hasta. He's got, you know, the invincibility. He's got really good damage scaling and very high attack. So if you don't have a good win DPS, pull for Hasta. If you do have a good win DPS, but only have like 1 good win DPS, I would still pull for Hasta. Now, if you have if you have a sub DPS and a main DPS for wind, you may not need to pull for Hasta, but you know, he could still be something to keep in your back pocket for maybe some more difficult quests where you need a DPS that can survive big hits more often. So I think he is very good to pull for. He's EX, so you're gonna have the bigger character pool to get from when you do your summons. So he's going to be worth pulling for. So I would say yes, pull for him. If I do some pulls, guys, I will live stream. It probably will be a short live stream, maybe like 1 hour long, but I will live stream my pulls for him if I do some pulls. But stay tuned for that. If I do, I'll probably make an announcement on Discord or something like that, and then we'll get into it. But thank you so much for tuning into the video, and hopefully keep me in mind. I'll be able to get some other videos done. Don't know when that will be, but hopefully soon. But thank you guys. Remember to like and subscribe, and have a wonderful day.